Rachel, thanks for doing this. That's a bit weird. Got any questions, then please ask me, feel free. Just got to get the shot lined up.
What are you going to do with the footage once it's finished?
Oh, I'm just using it for my own record so I can look back at it and make notes.
Okay.
So it's just easier than sitting here writing it all down.
Sure.
Right, so let's see. The reason why I wanted to do this is Markus, your uncle, he got in contact with me, saying that he had some important news, big story. Would I meet him at Heathrow Airport so we could have a chat? And he never showed up. And I can't work out why somebody who would have something of such importance would kill themselves. It doesn't make any sense to me.
No, absolutely, and me too, and the rest of my family. We can't make sense of it.
Right, exactly. So what I wanted to know from you is, I know him, the little I know from him on a sort of working relationship, and I wanted to know more about his personal life. So you're the closest thing I have to his personal life, so I wanted to know what you could tell me about the man.
Well, I guess on first meeting him, you know, if you didn't know Markus, you'd probably think that he's sort of not the most sociable of guy. Like, he doesn't really like small talk, and I don't think he's that comfortable in sort of social situations.
Yeah.
He's all his friends, and like, oh well, they're not, I wouldn't even say they're friends. They're just sort of like work contacts. You know, that they're only through his work and acquaintances that he's met, you know, through conferences and that kind of thing. But saying that, he's a really, really warm-hearted and generous guy. You know, like really generous with his time, and he's helped me loads with my A-level. You know, sort of given me guidance and advice, and you know, he always wanted me to do really, really well. So yeah, I guess, is that okay? I don't really know.
No, that's exactly the kind of thing I want to know. But I mean, tell me more about this background of his family.
Well, my mum and Markus, because Markus is my mum's brother, right? Yeah, they were both born in Switzerland, but they moved over with their parents when they were really young, so they had a really English upbringing, you know. And that's the funny thing, like, Markus is so English. Apart from his surname, Schoenberg, you'd think he's English through and through.
English gentleman.
Yeah, I reckon, definitely. And it's really funny because Mum is really, really sociable and chatty and loves being around friends, and she's got a little crew and she goes line dancing on a Tuesday night with the girls. Whereas Markus is just not bothered about that. Well, not line dancing or socialising sort of thing. He's just, he's just work. So yeah, it's quite funny to see him and Mum together because they're so different.
Polar opposites.
Yeah, definitely.
Right.
Yeah, I think it's funny. Mum says that that's the reason he'd never get married, because it would be like cheating on his real love, which is the lab.
Yeah.
You know, he hasn't got time for two loves in his life, sort of thing. So.
Yeah.
So he's lived in Leeds for a while. You know, just had his nice pad, which is just full of like little bugs and alcohol. You know, it's not like a crazy specimen collector or anything, but he's just really fascinated with how life survives and evolves, and I loved going around to his house as a kid because it was like a treasure trove of like really cool stuff, you know.
But I mean, look, that's his interest in his sort of working environment, his working life. Why do you think he was in Peru? Do you know why he was in Peru?
I've got no idea. I mean, I know he was fascinated with South America as a continent, you know. And I know that he read up loads on the Conquistador. I think that was in Peru, was it? Yeah. And one weekend he was going on loads about how the smallpox was the greatest weapon that the invaders took with them. You know, so I know he was really interested in that. But what he was doing most recently, I've got no idea at all. So.
Okay, but I mean, so tell me more about his working life.
Well, he got a PhD in organic chemistry, and he worked for quite a few years as an academic in America. And he is actually formally a professor, but he didn't like using Professor Markus Schoenberg because he's a little bit coy.
You should do, it's great.
That's what I said. Said it sounds pretty cool, but he didn't. So that's what him and Mum had in common for a while, so they were both teaching. But is it okay if I get another cup of tea? Because I'm really parched.
No, yeah, I'll get one, yeah.
Thanks.
Same again, yeah?
Oh, yes, please.
We're back with Rachel with a fresh cup of tea. Okay, we were talking about Professor Schoenberg and his PhD, and we're going to be linking on from there. So,
Yeah, so he did a stint in the States on a couple of startups.
When was that?
I think that was in the 80s actually. And I'm not really sure when genetics started to really dominate his work, but I know that he was talking a lot about the Human Genome Project when it looked like being a race of private money versus public interest. And also he was absolutely delighted when the first assembly of the genome was completed. So that was really cool. And then he worked for Prometha. That was his actual last proper job.
Right.
Was with Prometha in the.
What was he doing for them?
He was working in the R&D department.
Okay. So that's, yeah.
Yeah, and I think he found it really interesting, and he was really hoping that if it would give him enough money to enable him to retire and then just pack his bags and go travelling around the world, which was his dream, even though he'd never properly give it work because
He couldn't.
No, because he just loved it too much. But yeah, he said he was mostly working on gene tests for various conditions and doing some work on cell lines and possible drug targets. So
Okay.
yeah, and then he became really interested in public engagement, and
So he left Prometha.
yeah,
Why did he leave?
no idea. Yeah, so he did this public engagement, and he actually tried out some of his speeches on me, which was hilarious because he wasn't really, it was a challenge for him to sort of put himself out there and try and make himself understood by people like me.
And not other PhDs.
Yeah, like sometimes they're really overblown, or they're really, really technical, so only PhD students would understand.
Right.
Yeah, so that was really good, and that was a really good challenge for Markus, and I was really pleased that he was sharing his wealth of knowledge with others. That was cool.
Fantastic. But was there anything in particular that he was looking to explore, or that he wanted to go into?
I don't really know. I mean, he was busy doing roots, as you know.
Yeah.
But like Markus, he had a million other things going on at once, loads of other projects. So yeah, it's hard to tell really with Markus.
Do you think he had any other sort of research going on outside?
Oh yeah,
of research?
yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah, definitely. He'd always have loads and loads and loads of projects, ongoing
workaholic.
projects. Yeah,
Yeah.
definitely.
Because I'm just trying to work out what he was doing in Peru. Because I can't find anything online, conferences, nothing. I don't know any reason why he'd be there, anything like that.
It's a mystery to us all. I've no idea.
Because I don't want to be insensitive, and I'm sorry I'm sort of bringing it up, but as far as you're aware, did he have any enemies?
You mean like, would somebody want to kill him?
Well, yeah.
Look, he had a few heated debates, some discussions that probably resulted in arguments, but it doesn't really mean that somebody would want to kill you over it, I mean...
Exactly. Because you were sure it wasn't a suicide, and he didn't have any enemies, so...
I don't know, maybe it was a robbery or something. I don't know, but I'd rather not talk about it if that's okay.
No, that's cool, I'm sorry. Yeah, that's fine. Let's change the subject, and how about any big stories or any ideas that he was working on?
Look, Matt, I was really busy with my A-levels, and then I spent like a month celebrating. Markus was really busy with roots, and I'm really all out of answers, I'm afraid. I don't...
That's fine. Thank you. Do you want another cup of tea? How about that?